Also, it helps if you can play when you're doing it. It helps. Here are my guitar tips. This is my guitar tutorial. First, it helps if you can play. And also, when attempting to learn the guitar, and for singing, it helps if you can sing. It helps if you're not, if you have fingers, it's very helpful in the guitar. Because sometimes you would try to play it without fingers.
Right.
Like this, like if I just had like a stump. And instead of being able to fret it, you would just kind of mash it. So you see, that doesn't really, it doesn't really work. Mash it. You can try to play with your teeth. You're going to hurt your teeth or hurt the strings.
Right.
So that's my first tip. It helps to have hands. When you have hands and fingers, it helps if you are able to play. Because when you can't play, it sounds not that good. It doesn't sound good. If you're trying to play, you don't know the notes, you don't know the chords, you can't sing, you're going to try.
Listen, I think I need to tell a couple tips about playing and singing.
It's not going to sound right. People are going to be looking for that certain sound that they're expecting, that certain sound that they're expecting when you're able to play and able to sing. They're going to be listening for it. They're not going to hear it. You're going to be trying to do like one of these. We already talked about that. But just to go back to the basics. Mashing it with your hand, it doesn't work. Trying to play it with your cheek, you might get to know your guitar better and become affectionate with the guitar, but you will not be able to play it. So you want to try to mash it with my cheek, you can't play it. It just sort of mashes like that. Like if it was in slow motion, it'd be like people would think you had a mental disability. They would think that something was wrong. They might even ask you. They might even come up to you and be like, sir or ma'am, are you okay? If you were doing it in a public place, they might come up to you and say, sir, ma'am, or ma'am, and or ma'am, if you're a man or a woman. I don't want to impose any categories on people, but if you're a man or a woman, they might come and use it. Sir, is everything okay here?
Okay.
Do we need to call an ambulance or the authorities, someone to help you? And you'd be like, I want to express it with a song. You'd want to express it with a song, your feelings, to express how you're feeling with the song, but you wouldn't be able to. You wouldn't be able to. A crowd would draw people you don't even want, like in the shot, who are supposed to be in bed, or who are made up people, who are imaginary. A crowd would draw to attract you, but you were trying to. You might develop some anxiety about playing after a while, because you'd be like, you'd talk to your therapist. You'd be talking to your therapist. You'd be talking to your therapist, and you'd be like, I feel like I have this dream, but it's not a dream. It's actually when I'm awake. And I feel like that when I try to play, that instead of being able to play, because I don't have fingers, that just a crowd develops around me. And it's not like a good crowd of like cheering fans or anything. It's just like people who are kind of like gawking at me like I'm a car accident or something. What am I, a car accident? And that's not really what you want out of your musical experience. You want to be able to play, sing, have hands, fingers, and then you can, when you do it, you kind of put the notes in with the fingers that you have, and you kind of put the notes in there where they're supposed to go, and it's like a beautiful, it's just a thing. You're trying to If you're trying to play it with your cheek, or your teeth, or your feet, you're going to have to move on. You're going to be getting the signal for moving on. But you won't be able to move on. Because you don't have fingers. Because you were trying to play the guitar without fingers. I'm sorry to people without fingers out there who I'm offending. I think you should have the right to vote. I just want you to know that. I have been a staunch defender of the right of people who are people, just as much as anyone else, without fingers, to vote. How they would do it in the voting booth, I don't know. They might need some help, they might need an assistant, they might need a friend. And I think that's the position we're all in, is needing a friend to play our song to. So that's the next element in my guitar tips tutorial, is you need hands, fingers, you need to know how to play. Just get off the guitar if you don't know how to play. You got no business on it. And you need to be able to sing. I'm sorry, you get a tape recorder, listen to yourself, and you'll be able to hear what it sounds like. And also, and a friend. You need a friend. Because we all need somebody to lean on, we all need a shoulder to cry on. We all need somebody to pick us up when we're down, or like if we're like trying to like play it with our cheek, just tell us stop. You weren't meant to play the guitar. Maybe you could play the ukulele or a drum or like a flute or something, but the guitar is not. You could play like a harmonica. They have like the things you put on your head that Bob Dylan had, so he could play the guitar. You know, and here's an artist with a disability who, when he played the harmonica, it's almost like he was playing it without hands or fingers. And you need a friend to tell you that kind of thing when you're going to learn a difficult thing like playing the guitar. And that is the end of my guitar tutorial. I hope you have learned a great deal, a lot from it, and we do accept donations. Also, call me back. Stan, call me back. Call me back, Stan.